Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to bear witness to the dawning of a new era.
Thank you.
Please welcome one of the world's leading entrepreneurs who happens to be the first female owner of a major professional sports league, and her partner and co-owner, a multi-hyphenate whose mere name sends chills through the spines of children, adults, seniors, animals, and plants. Yes, even plants. A man whose name and resume includes global box office icon, pay-per-view record breaker, and sexiest man alive. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the owners of the XFL chairwoman Dany Garcia and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Hello, New York City. Yes. Well, it's great to see you guys. Great to be here. Good to see your faces. It's been a long time, over 2 years, so finally we've come back home. Now, before we get the show on the road, I do want to take a moment to acknowledge that amazing, well-crafted masterpiece of an introduction. Whoever you are who did that, thank you very much. Big round of applause for that man.
DJ, I literally saw you backstage holding the mic.
That's right.
And plants?
Yes, that was me. That
Plants
was me.
are
You weren't supposed to share that with the group.
Okay.
Okay, well, listen, I am excited, and you guys should be excited too. There's been a lot happening on this stage, but are you guys ready for some excitement? Oh, looks like somebody partied too hard last night. I said, are you ready for some excitement? Great, absolutely. So, Chairwoman, would you like to share the news?
Absolutely. We are thrilled to announce that the XFL is returning in 2023.
Come on.
We have entered into an exclusive multi-year deal with our partners, the Walt Disney Company, to produce and distribute all of our games.
That's right, guys. All 43 XFL games will be broadcast and streamed across Disney's amazing networks, including ABC, ESPN, and FX.
It's going to be perfectly timed for football fans who want the thrill of more touchdowns. Following the end of the college and the NFL season, we will be there.
It's also going to feature technological innovations designed to create a really unique viewing experience for fans all over the world.
And advertisers, we are rebuilding this brand. And with your brands, we can co-create something that is truly special and iconic.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. And just so to give you guys a little bit of context of what the XFL is, and this iteration of the XFL of under this new ownership here, the XFL is going to be a league of passion, a league of pride, and a league of culture. Now, those three anchors, those are going to be the things that's going to fuel every aspect of our league from top to bottom.
And we're thrilled to see this vision come aligned with our team, with Disney, to create explosive new powerhouse that's going to live on the sports calendar every year.
So listen, on behalf of myself, Dwayne Johnson, also known as the sexiest man alive, listen, thank you guys on behalf of myself and on behalf of our XFL chairwoman, Dany Garcia, and on behalf of our XFL partner, Jerry Cardinal, as well as our XFL partners at Redbird Capital. I want to thank you guys so much for your support, and we cannot wait to electrify stadiums all across our great country to a packed house full of rabid XFL fans. So without any further ado, I proudly hand it over to the wonderful worlds of Disney Plus. And when Sean Bailey gets out here, he's a president and a good friend of mine. He's really pissed that he's following us. So give him a big round of applause. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
All right, what is up, my friends, and welcome to another edition of the XFL Week in Review. I'm your host, Mark Perry, editor of XFL News Hub, and I think my new tag title might be Spring Football Media Guru. Your spring football / summer football So breaking news right now. So we'll get into the whole XFL thing going on. Just been busy all day. I have to fix something with News Hub Fantasy because it did not open the lineups when I was at an appointment with my daughter, helping my other daughter with her FAFSA college stuff. Then it turns out the CFL players rejected the deal that was agreed to by the Players Association and the CFL Board of Directors. That just happened like 20 minutes ago. Some things blowing up. Thanks to Andy he's going to write an article while I'm doing all the show here tonight. And it's just, the spring football world, there's nobody that covers it better than we do. XFL News Hub. We'll get into why that in a second. But you've got XFL News Hub, USFL News Hub, and CFL News Hub, all covering all sorts. We've covered the ELF. Matt Lyons covers a European League of Football. We've got you covered. Fan Control Football, we'll talk about their stuff going on today. Apparently, Michael Vick was going to be in. That was the rumor. It was on Reuters then. Now he's not going to be on. There's going to be some announcement. Maybe he might be an owner or something like that. We didn't really get into that today, but we've got a ton of stuff to get into today. Namely, the XFL's TV deal and this news that came out over the weekend that we could be getting logos, cities, teams June 1st. But first, you want to be part of the show, email podcast at xflnewshub.com with your thoughts, recorded MP3 or video on your phone, play it on next week's show, 888-430-7692, extension 3. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We're on Stitcher Podcast, the whole deal. Leave us a review. We'll read it on the show. And you can watch the show live at 8 p.m. Eastern every Monday, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. The timeline, June 17th, XFL Players Showcase. January 9th, 2023, XFL training camp begins. February 18th, 2023, the XFL season begins. Why do we know this? Because that too, my friends, was also announced last week. So we are 270 days till XFL kickoff. Did I have that on my little list here? Yes, I did. Good. 270 days to kick off. So if you like the XFL, heck, if you like spring football, smash that like button. Gently touch that like button. Subscribe to this channel. Let's get up to 60 likes for this show. We've got a ton of news to get for you. We're going to cover not only the XFL's TV deal, we have your reaction to the TV deal. There was some rumblings that maybe it'd be similar to the old deal, and we'll get into your take and my take on that. Plus, this news about these XFL logos and cities and whatever coming out on June 1st. We have that and so much more. So, my friends, without further ado, folks, let's just get into the week. Oh, and what's up, everybody in the chat on YouTube and on Facebook? Appreciate you guys stopping in. Give us your reaction to the XFL TV contract. We'll want to read your stuff too. But without further ado, folks, let's just get into the week that was the XFL. If you've been following us, especially the podcast that we had on yesterday, we talked about, we really thought that the XFL would announce a TV deal. And today they did during the Disney upfronts this afternoon, May 17th. So the XFL announces exclusive multi-year broadcasting agreement with the Walt Disney Company and ESPN. So Danny Garcia and The Rock presented at the Disney Upfront 2022, where they talk about programs that are coming on Disney and ESPN. And we thought that this could be the day. Danny Garcia said there was going to be a big announcement. The Rock said there was going to be a big announcement. She was in New York City. The Upfronts was in New York City. We put it together. There you have it. Now we have a TV deal. So XFL games will be featured on a combination of ABC, ESPN networks, and FX. The XFL will officially kick off on Saturday, February 18th, 2023. So not Friday, not Sunday, Saturday, February 18th, 2023. That is 1 week after the Super Bowl, just like the XFL 2.0 era did. The agreement includes exclusive rights to produce and distribute XFL games and tentpole events through the 2027 season. I think tentpole means basically events, like the championships. I think that's what that means. I have not seen that term before. The XFL today announced a new global multi-year agreement with Walt Disney Company. Yeah, we love Disney. And ESPN, which includes exclusive broadcast rights for all game day content, tentpole events, and more for its upcoming 2023 season through 2027. Folks, that is a 5-year contract with Walt Disney World ESPN. So that is a huge deal. That is bigger than the AAF had, though it's bigger than what the XFL 2.0 had. They had a 3-year agreement, and bigger than the USFL and Fox and NBC agreement. Each season, all 43 games, 40 regular season games, 2 playoffs, and 1 championship will be featured on a combination of ABC, ESPN networks, and FX. Additionally, the agreement includes exclusive content rights across the WTWDC, so the Walt Disney Company, and ESPN's digital, social, and direct-to-customer outlets such as ESPN Plus. No mention of Disney Plus in this. The XFL is excited to officially announce its 2023 season will kick off on Saturday, February 18th, 2023, friends. For those that have been through the 2.0 era and even before the 2.0 era, to have an official date for the second time that we've been covering the XFL since 2018. This is welcome, exciting news. We thought that that's what it was going to be, but just to see it officially from the XFL brings it to a whole nother level. The announcement was revealed today at the Disney Upfront, where XFL owners Danny Garcia and Dwayne Johnson were in attendance and presented the news. Quote, "Without question, we have long admired Disney's distinct ability to engage an expansive consumer fan base across verticals while also maintaining a deep, authentic, nuanced, and heartfelt approach to storytelling, much like our own," said Danny Garcia, chairwoman of the XFL. "To find a partner that honors our foundation, to be able to root our vision of unwavering passion, accessibility, and the future of football with Disney as our home is a dream come true. We are extraordinarily excited to explore the endless possibilities of this partnership. Today is surely just the beginning," close quote. That's Danny Garcia. The XFL will tap into sports fans' deep love of football by emphasizing competitive action while dedicating itself to innovation and entertainment, said Jimmy Pitario, chairman of ESPN and sports content. "You can see a great path to success when you combine the reach and influence of ESPN and Disney with the collective vision of XFL leadership led by Danny, Dwayne, and Jerry," close quote. DJ added, "This is a definitive moment for the XFL and the beginning of an incredible long-term partnership for the very league, building on my long-standing, very successful legacy relationship I've had with Disney throughout my career. We're excited to be working with global visionaries that are aligned with the XFL's values, are true team players, and share our ambitious goals to grow the XFL as a global sports and entertainment business." Remember that word, global sports and entertainment business. That means more than just the sports itself, other things tied to it. Through the combined power of Disney, ESPN, and XFL, together we will create a new powerhouse on the sports calendar and bring a dynamic game of football to fans everywhere. Time to ball out. Jerry Cardinale said, "With today's announcement, the XFL has launched a truly innovative partnership with the Walt Disney Company and its world-class platforms across media, culture, sports, and entertainment. It is a privilege to join forces with an incredibly talented team at Disney and ESPN and bring Danny and Dwayne's vision of world-class football and live event entertainment to our fans and players." More information, of course, head to XFL.com. We will continue to cover the story as we get more details on this, but it's a 5-year deal with all the programming going to be on ABC, ESPN, and FX. Probably the XFL will follow the model. We've been talking about this the whole time. If you followed us on our podcast, XFL Week in Review, you should definitely subscribe, because we've talked about that they're basically following the same timeline as the XFL did in leading up to the 2020 season. So that means that we probably will get teams and locations and cities in August, because that follows the timeline as well, and a draft in October, I should say. Also, what will probably fall in line is what the original XFL did is something that the USFL has not done, and that's the timing of the games. It's kind of scattered. Sometimes you have a game on Sunday, you have 2 games on Saturday, or then you have 1 game on Friday. And I think the XFL will probably stick with that model with 2 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sundays. These are the times, and that's going to be it, so that there's destination watching and lock that in. I would assume that they would learn from the experience from the USFL on that as well. So we here at XFL News Hub are super excited. We were here during the whole chatter and bankruptcy, And then the Rock of Danny Garcia bought it. And then we got all the CFL talk. And then maybe they weren't going to come back at all. They're going all full steam ahead with a 5-year contract, a TV exclusive agreement with Walt Disney and ESPN. That is some major news. And this league is here to play some football. So get ready, friends, because February 18th, 2023, the XFL will kick off. Most likely that first game, of course, will be on ABC. Let us know what you think about this TV deal in the comments. We thought about maybe, hey, what about NFL Network? Where's CBS? What are NBC and all of this? And there's no mention of any kind of TV shows along with this, just that they came out with an agreement. But I would expect that if they were going to do some type of behind-the-scenes TV show, I really hope it's either on ESPN. Most likely, I would love it to be on primetime on ABC. But we'll see if we get any news about that in the future. So stay tuned to XFL News Hub for all the latest XFL TV information as it becomes available. So what is going on with this potential announcement? So let's backtrack a little bit. So on the 18th, there was a report that came out that said the St. Louis Battlehawks had booked 5 dates for the spring of 2023. So Frank Cusimano of KSDK hinted that the XFL Battlehawks could be returning to St. Louis. Nothing official from the Dome of America Center or the XFL yet, but the dates have been booked. He said, quote, 5 on your sides, Frank Cusimano has learned that the Dome at America Center is open to welcoming the XFL back to town, with the league set to kick off the next spring. Cusimano reports that the Dome has reserved 5 weekend dates for next spring for possible XFL home games in St. Louis. Well, this is cool. This is getting exciting news. Things are starting to leak out a little bit. That was on the 18th. Then on the 22nd, some more stuff started to come out about St. Louis, about a possible announcement on June 1st, but relating maybe to St. Louis. So according to Randy Carricker, co-host of Character and Smallman on 101 ESPN in St. Louis, the St. Louis XFL team is back with an announcement coming June 1st. He said, "We are back, baby. We are back." June 1st announcement. But that's all he said. So the return of the XFL to St. Louis would not be surprising, as the Battlehawks were the top team in the league in terms of interest in ticket sales. A day after the XFL announced its exclusive TV deal with Disney at the Disney Upfronts in New York, Frank Cusimano reported that the Dome America Center had reserved 5 weekend dates. Presumably those would be XFL. The next day, we got a report by Mark Bertman, sports director of Fox 26 in Houston, that said the XFL is returning to Houston, Texas. We could see more of these leaks before we hit to that June 1st date, but we didn't know what that meant. Also in this reporting, of course, a lot of what they're talking, we'll get into that in a second. So also in this report, according to former DC Defenders content director Troy Machier, the DC Defenders name will not be used if the team returns to DC in 2023, which Mike Mitchell has been reporting. DC, St. Louis, Orlando, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Las Vegas, Seattle were the teams. So there. But the DC Defenders might not return as the DC Defenders, which I like the name. It was fine. So the likelihood that the XFL release is its cities only seems more probable. It is already out there, and the stadium deals look to be wrapping up. So this is what he said. Now, we were hearing rumblings about the summer and possibly August. The league would finalize the team names over the next several months, kind of get everything going. And we did also notice that Alpha Opco, which was the holder of the trademarks, had recently moved them to XFL Properties, another business entity. So signaling that there might be something soon. But I still wondered to myself, as did a lot of people, what did Randy Carricker, co-host of Character and Smallman, meant by there's going to be an announcement June 1st. Is this going to be an announcement that the St. Louis Battlehawks are returning and that's it? Or that, they're just going to announce St. Louis and then they'll announce another team another day? No. So he doubled down on that today on their program. He said the XFL teams, cities, and logos are coming June 1st. So we talked about Randy saying his stuff on Instagram. On today on his show, he was asked about those comments, and this is what he had to say, quote, "My information is that the league will announce their cities and teams and logos on June 1st, and the Battlehawks will be part of the new XFL with The Rock and Danny. A couple of interesting things, he said. Apparently, Anthony Beck is the inside favorite to become the new head coach in St. Louis, which Mike Mitchell has been reporting. A former St. Louis Rams tight end, he was. Apparently, Jim Haslett is going to wind up in Seattle with that franchise. So Anthony Beck is probably the coach here. Spelled that wrong. Close quote. So on June 1st, it sounds like we will be getting team names, cities, and logos. And he also mentioned that Anthony Beck is the front runner for the head coach in the Battlehawks. Of course, our own Mike Mitchell has been reporting this for a while. Beck, his coaching experience, prep tight end coach at IMG Academy, which isn't that an NFLPA Collegiate Bowl tight end coach. Isn't IMG Academy where they're hosting one of the XFL training things. I think that is true. San Diego Fleet AAF tight ends coach, offensive coordinator for Wiregrass Ranch High School. Playing experiences, drafted 27th overall. I played for the Jets, Buccaneers, Rams, Cardinals, and Kansas City Chiefs. Of course, over the last several weeks, if you followed this show, you knew all of this. Why? Because our own XFL insider Mike Mitchell reported the 8 cities and Beck as the new head coach in St. Louis. This is what is new from what we got as an official announcement coming June 1st. They also confirmed what has been reported by Mike Mitchell, and that the XFL will play in a modified hub based in Dallas. From there, teams will travel to home games and away games. Another thing, he said, I found interesting that the league, the USFL, is practicing and playing all their games in Birmingham. And while the XFL teams are going to play, for example, the Battlehawks will play in the Dome here, they're going to be practicing in Dallas, and that's the way to be more efficient financially, and then travel to where the site is. So if the Battlehawks play Seattle here in the Dome, both teams will travel from Dallas to St. Louis, play their games, and go back to Dallas, and essentially that's where the players will live. Gee, I wonder what website Mr. Randy has been reading and who he's been following on social media. Mike Mitchell. In the episode, they talk about the importance of the XFL to practice in the home locations at some point, but talk about how Cacaw is the law, my friends, my St. Louis friends out there, the 3 teams in Texas, of course, the hated Tampa Bay Vipers. I didn't know St. Louis hated Tampa Bay Vipers, and so much more. We have a link in the article where you can actually listen to the full segment. It's at the hour and 47-minute point of the program. So the big news is this is your first time watching this. Some of this is not new to us, but the big news was June 1st, XFL teams, cities, and logos. That is all of it. That is further along, but see, I guess they want to get this out because there's going to be a lot of hype around the training players showcases that they're going to have in June and July, which is basically right around the corner. We're less than a month away from those things happening. June 1st hits, fans can start getting merchandise. XFL can start talking about season tickets and getting that ramped up and fans interested. Of course, June 1st is 2 weeks away, so that's about week 8 of the USFL season. Who knows what's going on with the CFL as they now rejected their agreement? Who knows that whole deal there? But this is exciting times. Fans have been waiting since the day Danny "The Rock" Redbird Capel had purchased the XFL to get this news about teams, cities, and logos. It looks like June 1st is the time we get that news. According to a report by Mark Bertman, sports director of Fox 26, the XFL is returning to Houston, Texas, the exact location of the XFL played their games in 2020. He said, quote, a source, the University of Houston and TDECU Stadium will host games in the XFL when the league begins play in 2023. So just like the news that we've heard about the booking the dates at the Dome and America Center in St. Louis, you can now add Houston and TDECU Stadium. The Roughnecks played there for the 2020 XFL season. Plans were in place for Houston to host the XFL championship game there as well. Former XFL CEO and Commissioner Oliver Luck had connections with the Houston business community. That's what he was the QB for the Houston Oilers from 1982 to 1986 and was the president and general manager of the Houston Dynamo, the MLS, in 2005. I think they won a championship there. The league also held its training camp in Houston before kickoff of the 2020 season. So I guess maybe the love that the XFL was feeling towards Texas, figured why not put another team in there and just host the whole thing in Texas. Now, the question is, the Roughnecks logo will probably, most likely, 100% be a thing of the past. The NFL filed in opposition to the logo, and the XFL abandoned the logo in 2021. No word on if the 3.0 era will keep the name Roughnecks, which I like. Just change the logo. Houston is expected to be one of three XFL teams in Texas, with San Antonio and Dallas as the other locations. The XFL also just held their coaches symposium in Dallas several weeks ago. That is home base. The XFL will be centered in Texas, and its home headquarters based in Dallas, Texas. We're going to have to take a road trip. Having 3 teams play in Texas, plus the league training all teams in the same location, will keep costs down for the first season back and the deal. And of course, the XFL just signed that 5-year broadcasting deal with the Walt Disney Company. I'm a huge Disney fan, and ESPN. So you have it there. So more rumblings coming out. St. Louis' name has been dropped out as returning to the XFL. And Houston is next. That has been rumblings. We expect to hear more before we have this potential rumored June 1st announcement of the city teams and logos. Our own Mike Mitchell has been reporting these cities. Remember, you've got San Antonio, Houston, and Dallas in Texas, DC and Orlando on the East Coast. Then you have St. Louis, Las Vegas, and Seattle as your other teams coming back and new to the XFL and returning to the XFL. So The Rock is focused on the XFL and Q1 of 2023. He has no projects lined up. So Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is a busy guy, we know. Between being a global movie star, TV star, Young Rock, Terramana tequila owner, Zoa energy drink, which my wife drinks now, and she likes it, Project Rock with Under Armour, and all this other stuff. He's constantly pulled in different directions and has for quite some time. Rarely does he settle down and focus on one thing. That is until now. With the XFL launch on Saturday, February 18th, 2023, which was confirmed by the ESPN Disney announcement, The Rock will be focused solely as a co-owner of the league. According to the Wrestling Observer Brian Alvarez, Johnson currently has no movie or TV filming commitments from January 2023 through March of 2023. Quote, he is going to do 0 movie commitments for the first quarter of 2023, which allow him to do WrestleMania without having to worry about movie commitments and also have the time to help launch the first season of the XFL. So actually the timing for doing a WrestleMania match would be excellent this year because he has 2 different projects which would require him to take time off from the movies. Now, being a wrestling reporter, Alvarez, of course, is focused more on the prospect of The Rock returning to the ring at WrestleMania. That event is taking place on April 1st and 2nd, 2023 at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, which will be huge. Of course, fans would love to see The Rock take on his cousin Roman Reigns. However, I'd like to burst up WWE fan bubbles. Number 1, go watch AEW instead. But number 2, I don't think he appears. Listen, that would already be week 7 of the XFL season with the road to the playoffs on. He would need to be, if he was going to be involved with getting in the ring, he would need to be in full training mode during the XFL season. I don't think he has the time to get back into ring shape and run the XFL at the same time. He could appear and promote the XFL at WrestleMania. That is a possibility. Now think of that without this. To have him and former XFL owner Vince McMahon in the middle of the ring talking about the XFL, that would be classic. But it looks like in Q1 2023, Johnson is 100% focused on the XFL. And for XFL fans, that's good to see that he's all in. WWE fans have been wanting him to take on Roman Reigns, though he's not getting any younger. Maybe that's a possibility, but I really don't think so. Appearance, yes, that's a possibility. Getting in the ring and wrestling in some kind of big match headlining WrestleMania, I don't think so. But The Rock is focused on the XFL in Q1 2023. Quick recap of our buddies at Fan Control Football. We got Bored Ape FC defeating my team, Team 8 Okie. Team 8 Okie won 34-22. They moved to 3-3. Board Ape FC, yeah, baby, lost their first game. Tried to catch that. I was actually more interested, and I'm just being honest, more interested in watching fan control football than I was some of this USFL stuff. Just saying, I think because I don't know. I just like the product. I like the energy there. I like watching it. It's fun. SB Stars, 4-2. They went 34-16 over the Beasts, who are 2-4. Knights of Deegan are 4-2. 66-42 over Kingpins, who are 2-4. The Glacier Boys, 2-4. 14-44. Zappers with the win. They turned to 2-4 as well. Terrell Owens finally got his first win. There's rumor about Michael Vick, though he just came out and said he's not returning to play for QB in the fan control football. I have a feeling he might be a part owner, but still having his name to the brand, that's very cool. He's an Atlanta guy, made his name, former Hokie. Gotta love our Hokie nation out there. So I think we could see maybe Michael Vick involved with fan control football would be very cool. All right, we'll be back with your social media stuff right after this. Stay tuned, my friends.
Coming up this week on the Markcast. Well, last week was the Talent Wars, and now this week we have the Broadcast Wars. The XFL has announced their 2023 TV deal. Going to be breaking down all of the details, filling you in on some new information we've uncovered. Plus, we're going to be comparing it to the USFL TV schedule. Which alternative football league has the better broadcast slate headed into 2023? You might be surprised to hear what I have to say. Plus, lots of chatter has come out this week from both Houston and St. Louis. Both cities potentially preparing for XFL franchises to return there. Going to bring on Evan Willsmore from XFL News Hub to break it all down. Then all your regularly scheduled USFL programming. We're midway through the season, approaching week 6. Ian Harditz of PFF joins the show to give his thoughts.
I really enjoyed it, man. Like, the biggest hate pushback I kind of see on it, like, I'll post a highlight of a sick one-handed catch and people are like, oh, look how the stands are empty. Like, get over it, man. It's every game is in Birmingham. I'm not surprised that people aren't lining up to go sit in the stands for hours on end.
Adam Levitan of Established to Run also drops by to share his analysis and thoughts so far of the USFL season.
To me, the USFL product is just a worse version of the NFL, which is still cool. But I was just hoping that they would go for something different.
Plus, the CFL season hangs in the balance. They're trying to resolve the strike. Players are protesting. I bring on Football Canada President Jim Mullen. We have a very thoughtful discussion about how the league will be able to move forward following this divisiveness.
At the end of this, you want a mutually beneficial partnership. A lot of the rhetoric that's come out of this from both sides, quite frankly, doesn't match up with the on-ramping from the previous year that led into it.
Should be a really great show. Thank you all for your support. Please like and subscribe.
What's up, my friends? We are back. Yeah, see, I am actually wearing my DC Defenders shirt that I got like super discount clearance at Dick's Sporting Goods here in Maryland. Apparently this might be a thing of the past. Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I like the DC Defenders name, but hopefully they'll come up with something cool. Kevin says, how are you doing? How was your day today? Very busy. My hernia surgery is getting better. I'm more mobile. We will be doing the USFL podcast after this and the CFL one this week. So everything is back to your regularly scheduled programming until I head in June to Disney World for a week. Definitely miss one episode in June. Jared says the greatest intro of all time. Too cheesy even for myself. The announcement was totally in the wrong crowd. Should have done it at the ESPN headquarters. Yeah, that when The Rock came out, I would have been like super pumped. It's The Rock, and they were all just kind of like a bunch of nerdy execs. You should have had me come out and covered it. I'd have yelled. My daughter just graduated from college this past weekend, and trust me, you could hear me yelling from the stands. I'm loud. I don't care. I'm from New York. Used to be a trainer. Used to yelling. Isaiah says, how do you feel about the XFL having 3 teams in Texas? You're going to have to do it. It was dumb when I heard about it. And then when Mike Mitchell started reporting about this modified hub playing all their, practicing in one location, then 3 teams made sense. Listen, LA, New York, don't fret yet. It is not over, my friends. Let's get through the first season. They could bring those teams back. Mr. International said, can I play for the XFL? Someone please help me. I've never played. Okay, just go to the XFL website. Go to xfl.com, click on the thing. There's a FAQ, check the FAQ, then you find it. I get questions like about this. I'm like, just go to the website and click on the FAQ. It's all on there. John says 3 is a little much, but if you're trying to cut down costs, dude, think about it. Seattle, DC was a great place. Seattle was a great place. St. Louis was top notch. Throw in San Antonio, which was also top notch in the AAF from what people had said. That's some nice optics there. Jared said, I thought the CFL was on track. So did I. So did I, my friend. Let's see. John says DC Avengers. Yeah. Well, hey, they could. They could be the Avengers. But then would DC Universe be in charge of pissed off at Marvel Universe? They could do some Disney stuff with it. That would be crazy. I don't think they will, but they could. That's interesting. Let's see. Yeah, the CFL players voted down the CBA. Talking about that. How about Warhawks instead of Battlehawks? Listen, St. Louis will blow a gasket if they change the name. Battlehawks is good. Just keep it there. He says DC Renegades, DJP. Pip 2323, St. Louis won in prime time with a huge crowd. Can't wait. Yes, they absolutely should have it in prime time in their stadium. That's got to be the first game against DC. Yours truly will be there. If that was that first game, have it with against the DC Defenders so that I can be there at the game. And let's fill that stadium up. It would be crazy and awesome to do. And then on that weekend, also have San Antonio with a game there as well. Or maybe save San Antonio for the next week so that has a big crowd. There's so many things that you can do with that. All right, we'll get to your social media stuff right after this break. Stay tuned, my friends.
What's up, XFL Army? If you're a fan of the XFL News Hub and you have a telephone, which I know all of you do because you're sitting there playing on your phones all the time, then why not download the XFL News Hub app? That's right, it's on iTunes. It's on Android. We have an Android version and an iPhone version of the XFL News Hub app. So what do you get? You get the latest news from XFL News Hub, the premier source of XFL news in the universe. Plus, you get push notifications when we have breaking news. You will be the first to know. You can leave a comment on some of the news right from your phone. Plus, you get this podcast on your phone as well. Remember, you can leave us reviews on the Google Play Store or iTunes. It links to other social media, our other social media accounts, and so much more. Be in the know. I know you're on your phones. People are on their phones all the time. They never get off their phones. So why not just download the XFL News Hub app on your Android or iPhone today? All you need to do is go to the Google Play Store or iTunes and just type in XFL News Hub. That's XFL News Hub. Download our app on your phone today.
All right, let's get to some of your social media stuff. First up on the Facebook, our question of the week. Your thoughts on the XFL TV deal, good or bad? Nate says, I think the XFL TV deal is excellent. I enjoyed the deal in 2020 with Fox included, but now that Fox is trying their own league, it's obvious it wouldn't be good business to include the XFL. Seems to be doing things right as they did in 20, not rushing to throw something on the field. Disney deal is great because it opens the door for ABC, ESPN, ESPN Plus, FX, etc. Enjoyed the ESPN ABC broadcast for 2020. Hope they do similar. Encouraged to seeing Dean Bellandino back. Joseph says the TV deal is fine as a previous season ticket holder of the Guardians. All of this stuff is ultimately filler. What I care about, will my team be back? Will they have the same logos? Well, you'll be finding all that soon. Mike says, sorry, no XFL for me because the Iraq endorsed Joe Biden, and look how that's turning out. Maybe if gas wasn't $2.50 a gallon, we could afford to go to games. I wish gas was $2.50, but no. What? What? Like, what? Then why are you on this channel? Why are you looking at this stuff? These people, these mindless zombie political jabronis, I mean, it doesn't matter like who your person is in office. Like, if you want to blame your pathetic life on politicians, I don't get it. Why don't you follow somebody who is real and Jesus Christ? I'd rather follow that than worry about talking about stupid politics. This is your master. These people who worship the ground that these politicians, whether it's R's or D's, I don't care. How about all the people, Mike, Mr. Intelligent Boy over here? How about all the people in the XFL that voted the same way that you voted? Are you going to cut them off too? I don't get these people. And he did it again. He came back on again. The Rock focused on, should we just block him? No, this is not free speech, but you are annoying. Same thing. Put the same thing back on that one. About The Rock focusing on Q23. Jared says, I don't believe that based on his travel all over with his tequila and soda drink, let alone his movies that he continues to make, I wish he would solely focus on the XFL, but he is the biggest entertainer in the world. He is. And this guy comes back again talking about Joe Biden ruined his life. Name me a politician that has, Mike, you fake Russian bot, you. Name me a politician. I see this all the time. You're like, what's the big deal, Mark? I see this all the time. It's so annoying. It's even in the regular world that you get these people that bring up politics. You're worshiping the wrong people, the wrong thing, my friends. I don't care what religion you are. You go worship that is a heck of a lot better than cowing at the feet of the former WWE Hall of Famer that they all love and worship, who's going to fix their life. And you notice it's white people, angry white people. That's Fox. Isn't that Fox's game? Maybe the Fox would get better ratings if they marketed towards their Fox News people and pissing off old white people, because that's their demographic. Look it up. Just drives me nuts. And the younger generation doesn't care about this stuff. They like roll their eyes. And it's like, I'm talking about crypto. And somebody's like, oh, well, Joe Biden, because ruined your life. Bro, he's been in the office for almost 2 years. Like, just think about it logically. He hasn't been in office for that long. Yeah, stuff he's screwed up. So did the other guy. And so did the other guy before him. They all screw it up. Like, we're sports. We're just trying to have fun. Mike Colborn from Arizona. Why don't you just go away? We don't want you here. I think you should hit the church, open the book, and change your life, rather than worshiping politicians. Get out of here. So annoyed. And I'm sorry. I'm trying to be a good Christian dude all the time, but I'm from New York and I'm Irish. So I have two things against me right there. This was interesting. Danny Garcia posted this from XFL co-owner chairwoman Danny Garcia. She says, what's in the box? Which, of course, I brought up. It turns out it was the movie Seven. What's in the box? Brad Pitt. Remember that? Well, look at this. Right here on the corner, right below it says at XFL box and the little person there. There's a little box there. What do you think it's in there? Is it an XFL ring? Now look at it. It's the same. It's not huge. People were saying a football. People were saying other things. But I don't think it's got to be small. I was thinking like you open it up as in an XFL ring. It can't be one of these bad boys. And please bring back the footballs. These footballs were great. I mean, maybe I thought, they designed these well. We could bring back the football. See, it's too big to fit in there for it to be a football. That's why. But I don't know what's in there. Let us know in the comments what you think is in the box. Don't open the box. That's Brad Pitt, right? XFL teams, cities, and logos. Mike says there's not enough talent to support 2 spring leagues. XFL may have banged the pooch by skipping this year. I've never heard that term, but okay. I've heard mixed things. about the talent pool out there. I think there is these two springs can't go head to head. These XFL, USFL, we've talked about it multiple times, cannot go head to head forever. He says, Keelan says, the Battlehawks. Robert says, all players living and practicing in Dallas and both teams traveling to home cities to go play. That's weird AF. They're just trying to form bond in the city. Commuters aren't invested in the community. Well, I think playing there is really what matters the most. And as somebody one of our writers had, I think it was Pat, might have said on the Markcast, where he was like, getting these leagues to survive is more important than a little discomfort in the first week or two, first season or two. So get over yourself. All right. On YouTube, let's see here. Some gunkily goo right here. Get out of here. We will remove. Mr. International, I'm happy and okay after surgery. You're the front runner of XFL content. I've been watching for years. This channel has a bright future. Thank you very much. Yee boy, you guys need to keep the New York Guardians in LA, but have the two teams. Are the team cities the same? No, we've talked about that. F1 blew up with their sports documentary XFL. Having a documentary on XFL would that was the one thing I was disappointed about with the league was I really wanted them to have something on Netflix, like something along those lines. I thought would have been great, but FX Disney exclusive. I mean, are they going to have some things? I was hoping for a potential exclusive kind of XFL. I was hoping either Netflix with a live streaming thing, and Netflix be like, hey, this is going to be our first live sports, and it's going to be the XFL. I thought that would have been huge. The streamers are kind of hurting a little bit, like who knows. But Disney is basically saying this is our property and it's going to no one. And I think that's what kind of freaked out the USFL, because then Fox was like, we're going to do our own thing. And NBC was like, well, we can't get involved. We're not allowed to get involved with the XFL. And CBS said we're not allowed to. So then that's maybe how those two unlikely partners came together. Jared says, I can see the Hawaiian in Mark Perry. Yes. I look very Hawaiian out there. And CP says St. Louis Battlehawks Cacaw. Cacaw is the law. We all know this. My friends. On the Insta, the Danny Garcia thing. Brain Bisbane says likely a team helmet. I was thinking my guess was a championship ring. About The Rock, I forget which this one was. I'm talking about the TV deal. Russell, the Truth Seeker, says the XFL new TV deal sounds great. We'll get plenty of XFL highlights and analysis on ESPN. I still watch the grassroots show, such as Mark Cast and XFL News Hub. Very cool. Appreciate there. I'm not a fan of ESPN or Fox Sports. I'm really not a fan of either of them. I think their content is terrible. Just yelling about sports just annoys the crap out of me. So I refuse to listen. I like fantasy footballers. Pat McAfee is good. They make it fun and funny, not like serious, angry Fox News, MSNBC crap. That's dull. Don't like it. Richard O, for real, I really like the TV deal. I know the league is going to shine, but is it a good deal or a bad deal? Only time will tell. Yeah, there's no money talked about this deal. Anybody speculating, unless Mike Mitchell says it, then I don't know if it's true or not. Arena Ken Fan says, I'm excited about but the possibility of DC Defenders name and logo still has me a little bummed. I am bummed too, but I hope they come up with something good. I got plenty of merch. I mean, I've got sweatshirts. I've got shirts, the whole deal. Digger Wilbon says, how about the DC Code Talkers? Hey, I'm a coder. I like that one. And Mike Mitchell, this was another news. Cardell Jones got cut with basically like 2 days from the Edmonton Elks. That was real quick. Mike Mitchell says, quicker than Sonic. I thought that was hilarious. And Vogelon Burst 16 said Cardell saw the TV deal, LOL. I heard that it was not the case. and it was his play, lack of preparation, perhaps. That is the reason why he did that was the way that was. All right, let's get to a phone call before we wrap things up.
Hey. Happy about that. And it's in 3 different leagues. You go from NFL season. Hey, long-time listener. I'm just so happy about the news that broke. And all I'm going to say is we're going to get year-round football. I am so happy about that. And it's in 3 different leagues. You go from NFL season to XFL season, and right when they're done is when the USFL picks up. We're going to get year-round American-style football. I think that's awesome. I can't tell you how happy I am. Like, I'm literally sitting outside work, and I'm like, it's for the best news you can get in the middle of a work week, you know? Like, you can have 3 different leagues. You can have 3 different teams to cheer for. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for that. That is awesome. And easy available games as well, like through XFL, ESPN, the USFL's got the Fox networks. Oh man, this is awesome. Anyway, thanks for keeping us all updated. This is I can't tell you how happy I am. I just can't wait to hear the official names and the names of the teams there and who's going to what coach is going to where. And I know we have an idea for a few of them, right? But I can't wait till everything's official. Can't wait to get merch. I cannot wait. That 2023 will be the first time for all of us guys that truly just love football. NFL season, XFL season, USFL season, and then right back to the NFL season. Woohoo! I get so excited. Anyway, have a great day, brother, and God bless.
Hey, man, God bless to you too. And you see, fans are excited. You got the CFL too, if you want to throw it in there as a little buffer there too. But yeah, I was totally excited when I saw this, and it was so funny. I'm so dumb sometimes. I am. I was watching the feed of the upfronts go down on Twitter, the Disney upfront, and they were talking about women's basketball, and I was like, I guess this is over. I might as well go clean up upstairs. And then I go upstairs for like 15, 20 minutes to come back down, and I missed the whole deal. And I was like, I was waiting for like an hour and a half, and I was like, I gotta get this stuff done. So I left, but I'm super excited too. Yes, I mean, year-round spring football is fine with me as long as they don't kill each other off. The USFL has been fun. Fan control football has been fun. CFL, whatever their deal is, hopefully that will be fun. So yeah, I'm excited. A lot of fans are excited too. I think it would be a whole different ball game if the USFL went at it by itself. That would be one thing, and they were actually in their cities now. I think but that's their business model. But fans don't want to hear about the business model. Here's our man Paladin demo. Dungeon Bowl completed. Done with the Revenge of the Nerds theme. Started the Noose team. Everything is built in Prime with the Noose release. I'll let you choose for your DC Defenders team. Old War Alliance for Sirius or Noose for the beer. Very cool there, but it might not be DC Defenders, my friend. Might not be DC Defenders. Let's see. We got 2 other emailers. First up, Tim says there is an old tarnished plaque at the Edward Jones Dome. It has the name of myself, my brother, and his son who passed away with cancer. Our names are on this plaque with thousands more that invested in seat licenses to bring football back to St. Louis after the football Cardinals left. We all stood side by side past the football down Broadway Ave to the proposed site of where the dome sits. We passed it from the old Busch Stadium to the site that was dirt then and now is the dome and a casino right next to it, by the way. And you know the rest were able to get the Rams, and they put this plaque up in our honor. Then they were burnt again. It would be so awesome for the XFL to clean it up and have The Rock announce the Battlehawks return. If he did that, St. Louis would sell out the first game, top bowl, and all. And as of now, those names and that plaque look old and rusty. It couldn't take much time to wire brush it. It'd be huge to pull the tarp off the plaque, and town would go absolutely bonkers It would be an absolutely amazing event. The Phoenix rises from the ashes in the form of a Battlehawk. He said, I'll copy this to XFL. Call Tim. Awesome, Tim. I've got goosebumps reading your message there. I got goosebumps. And finally, Kyle wants to know about being eligible for tryouts to spend $250. Again, there's an FAQ, and I know a lot of players, potential players, reach out to us. If you signed up and you got an invite, message Sam on Twitter, and he can add you to the list. There's a big list on the website. There's an FAQ on the sign up when you sign up that will tell you about your eligibility and all this other stuff. So you should check that out. And if you're really serious, because I've also heard from agents and player personnel from the USFL and XFL, and they're like, all these guys like send us the tape, but they're sitting around doing nothing, and then they want a tryout. And it's like, well, they're maybe working out a little bit, but like if you're serious, you got Hub Football, Fan Control Football to check that stuff out, my friends. All right, last thing, how's the chat room doing? Make sure you smash that like button. We're at 19 likes. We need to get to 60. Spread the word about the XFL is back. City names, logos, announcements, June 1st is the rumor. I think it's going to come true, clearly because the dude works for the ESPN. So there you have it. But who knows what else we're going to go on. Again, thanks, everybody. Gamers are us. Why can't DC use Defender's name? Miss what happened. I think they dropped it. Then there was also the problem with the Major League Baseball doing it. But Atlanta, Richmond, Columbus, Ohio, all these people are saying need a team. John says, what about Las Vegas Sandhawks? The Battlehawks versus the Sandhawks. Las Vegas Outlaws. Hey, maybe they bring it back. Maybe they bring some old school XFL back. Who knows? But I hope, Jared says, Mark Perry has his fists ready since he is Irish. This is true too. I know, but I'm a chill guy. I'm just having, sports is supposed to be fun. And when people try to like suck the life out of it, it just makes me upset. All right, my friends, that's it for this week's show. Exciting stuff. Stay tuned to XFL News Hub on all of this kind of breaking news. You want to be part of the show? Email podcast@XFL News Hub with your thoughts. Record an MP3 or video. 888-430-7692. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and watch our show live every Monday at YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, my friends. Hey, that's it for me, folks. Thank you for everybody checking in the chat room. Hey, we'll be on in a couple minutes with our USFL shoe. Just go to usflnewshub.com and go over all that kind of stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun there, too. Spring football is happening. We get the CFL get their right their ship. We get XFL going June 1st, and we have players showcases. I can't wait for this thing to hit, and I can't wait for the official announcement, especially St. Louis is going to blow up. Going to blow up in a good way, my friends. So it's exciting stuff. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being part. You guys are the originators, the OGs. There's going to be a lot of fans coming in, but the OGs, you guys are part of the OG clique. That's our little clique, the OG XFL guys that have been through thick and thin. Guys like Richard O. For real, been there since the day one. Some of you other guys, Jared or Jason, I think you guys look familiar. Been around too as well. All right, my friends, that's it for me, folks. As always, I talk a lot, some trash, but again, I try to be a good Christian dude. Pray for our guy, Mike, that he loses his anger like a lot of people in this country and just remembers that sports are supposed to be fun. Not everything is a political debate, please. Let's just have some fun. All right, shall we? That's it for me, folks. God bless. And I will see you all. We'll see you at the USFL show in a little bit, but I will see you all, I'm going to say, later.